Thank you very much for attending the presentation. I know there are a lot of amazing speakers happening right now, so thank you very much. My name is Gaurangi Gandharvika Devi Dasi, and thanks to Srila Prabhupada's mercy and my spiritual master, I was born in the movement. So I'm a second generation devotee, and I would like to just share my perspective from my Krishna conscious childhood about how we can have Krishna conscious fun and for it to be very engaging for kids. So this is an interactive question and session, so please feel free to ask any questions or give your comments. So the title today of the presentation is Bhakti Kids, a curriculum for engaging children in Krishna consciousness. So of course there are so many amazing initiatives happening around the world. So this is just one of our efforts and that we would like to share with you. So I'm representing the Congregational Development Ministry, which is established by the GBC in 1996. And Bhakti Kids is a branch of the CDM, so that's the short for Congregational Development Ministry, because our minister, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami and Kanteya Prabhu, they saw a very important need to engage children in Krishna consciousness. So for the Congregational Development Ministry, we believe that to fulfill the prophecy of Lord Chaitanya of spreading the Harinam Sankirtan movement in every town and village, we can do that by empowering our families and our congregations. This is how we can fulfill his prophecy. Because, maybe we can build a temple in every single town, but it is so much easier and also very effective to just convert every home that we have as a bhakti home. So if we empower our families to make their home a center for Krishna consciousness, for practicing and also sharing, in this way we can also reach neighbors and everyone locally. So like this, by establishing bhakti homes in every locality, that is how we can expand globally to, expand the Krishna consciousness movement. So actually, the major demographic in ISKCON are grihastas, their families. And we're always going to have children in the world, and they are so important to be taken care of because they are the future of our movement and of the whole world. So, many of the presentations or many of our ISKCON initiatives are about outreach, how we can plant seeds, around the world. We're very good at doing harinams, food for lives, book distributions, all of that. We have so much material, for adults. But we're expert at planting these seeds, but we already have so many seeds within our movement. We already have so many, little seeds waiting to sprout. And so this is what we're trying to promote, that we can make such a big difference by nourishing the seeds of bhakti that are already existing in our movement through the children. So just a little brief about the Bhakti Kids department. We were established a couple of years ago, and during COVID, the pandemic, we were able to do lots of online programs for children. So we had a Purushottam month challenge with over 1,500 kids. We did Jai Jagannath camps. We had everything online. We did Chananyatra programs, things for Kartik. So this, we were able to connect with thousands of children, and we could really see the impact that these programs had in their lives. Actually, I'll share with you later one testimonial from one child that he's not an ISKCON devotee, but he somehow came in touch with this Purushottam month challenge, and he says that it completely transformed his life. So this presentation will be focusing on age group 6, ages 6 to 12. So Srila Prabhupada says in a letter that if children are given a Krishna conscious education from early childhood, then there's great hope for the future of the world. So if you search up Srila Prabhupada quotes about children, he uses these 3 words a lot, our future hope. So I wanted to ask you, why do you think Srila Prabhupada said that children are our future hope. Yeah. These three words, our future hope, Srila Prabhupada used it countless of times, referring to children and the younger generation. So what does this mean to you? Why do you think Srila Prabhupada used these words? By nourishing children from a really young age, they're already filled with these like samskaras, these positive impressions of Krishna consciousness, and they're absorbing from the womb. So even Srila Prabhupada said that the third generation of devotees are going to be pure devotees and will be able to, light fires just by using mantras because they're so powerful. And just wanted to share also that Srila Prabhupada, he founded this whole movement with the young generation. When he was trying, the League of the Jansis, and he was trying to, start up the movement, it wasn't, really, happening. It wasn't really coming up. But then when Srila Prabhupada, he reached out to the younger generation, then that's when, the movement expanded, super rapidly. And Srila Prabhupada had so much faith, and he believed in the young generation. So much so that they would be on a train, and as soon as the train stops for 2 minutes, then Srila Prabhupada would tell some of his disciples, okay, get off the station, start a center. That's how much faith he had. And they're, 15, 16, 17, 20-year-olds, with almost no money, just joined in the movement, maybe a few months. A senior devotee was in the movement for 6 months to 1 year. And they were opening temples, everywhere. So this just shows, the power of having faith in the younger generation and having faith in our children. And the truth is, unfortunately, that many of our leaders are slowly starting to leave us. So who's going to be the ones that are going to be carrying on the movement are our children. Because the children of today, they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow. So this is why Srila Prabhupada found the importance of really investing in our children and younger generation from early childhood. So I also wanted to share our mission from the Bhakti Kids is that we want to nourish children's Bhakti seed by engaging them in fun Krishna conscious experiences. And fun, I use it all the time because it's the most important ingredient to really attract children in Krishna consciousness. And Krishna consciousness, we don't have to make it fun. That's a myth. Krishna consciousness is fun. It's just how we deal with the kids and, make it very, just the packaging of how we interact with children. So we also want to provide a one-stop source for resources, programs, and training to support devotees worldwide serving children. So we can give these fun experiences to children by, creating these online programs or in person. And actually recently, I went to Madurai and Bangalore, and we had children, a little children, you could say retreat. And we had 60 kids coming, and they had so much fun. So this is really what creates these impressions in their heart that they will carry on throughout their lives. So our aims for Bhakti Kids is to create and gather resources. So these past 2 years we've been putting a lot of energy into creating resources to support our families and congregations. We want to support our parents wanting to engage children, teachers, and also just children program leaders. And because we're also a congregational development ministry, it's also our responsibility to gather and all these successful initiatives that are going on around the world and be able to promote and share what is happening. So today I attended a seminar by Tarini Radhamataji. She's organized a whole Sunday school curriculum. So this is, we want to promote and share this amazing resource that she has created. Also, we want to network with children program leaders around the world. And, it's one of our responsibilities also to know how many children programs are going on in ISKCON, how many children are engaged, to really understand how much are we caring for our children. So I just think it's so important. And yeah, I mean, I really feel like ISKCON as a whole, we really need to put more emphasis on our children and younger generation. And it is very much lacking and a need. So this is, we're trying to, make a difference to children's lives. And the third aim is to be able to, help congregations in implementing children programs, help them start up or be able to add to their children programs. Also, as I was mentioning, facilitating online and on-site children programs. And the fifth one, which I think is very important to be able to really network and bring everyone together, is we want to create a website which is like a Krishna conscious education hub. So this website will, all devotees will be able to upload their materials that they've created for children, whether, it's a Sunday school curriculum, a children's book, or even coloring pages. And like this, like that will be able to really bring everything together in one place. And also we want to support educators in ISKCON by, providing, like putting their biography there and linking their social media websites so that like anyone that comes to the website, they'll be able to, link to other educators and also see what programs are happening around the world. So we're going to start working on this in a couple of months to really bring everyone together and try to inspire more devotees in their service to children. So our vision is to implement children programs in all of our ISKCON communities around the world. So if we have 1,000 ISKCON communities, congregation centers, we should also have 1,000 children programs. And of course, we're going to, establish these programs according to Srila Prabhupada's teachings, because he has given us everything that we have. And through these programs, we want to help children feel a sense of belonging, love, and happiness in the movement. So I'm highlighting certain words here. So the last word that I highlighted is like choice. So having a choice in Krishna consciousness, I mean, I was born a devotee, but still, my spiritual master told me and told many of our youth in one Sanga that you may be born a devotee, but you still have to make that choice of joining. So I tell, whenever I say that, thanks to Srila Prabhupada's mercy, I was born into the movement, I also add, and I joined the movement as well. Because it's, that's what we want. We want to help children make that choice for themselves that, yes, I want to be a devotee of Krishna. And the way that we can do that is by helping them find their identity in the movement and a sense of belonging. So one thing that I really, reflect on is, we have many temples around the world, and we have, Bhakti Vrikshas, we have, the Sunday feast, and many temples are also doing Sunday schools. But I mean, just being a little bit frank here, if we have nothing for the kids, what kind of message are we sending? We're kind of sending a message that you're not so important if we don't have anything to offer them. So it's really I just trying to emphasize this over and over again, that it's so important that we have some engagement for our kids. Otherwise, how can we expect our children to feel like they're identifying with, our movement and that they belong here when they're not, very much accepted, or, they're kind of seen as a burden. Oh, children are loud, and, they're just running around. But like we can't expect children to sit in the same Bhagavatam class that we give to adults and expect them to also be paying attention. I mean, I struggle sometimes to pay attention in Bhagavatam class, and I'm an adult. So for children, of course, we need to speak to them in such a way and engage them that really targets their age group. And, love and happiness. I know it sounds so like these common words, we want you to feel loved and happy, but this is like all it takes to make that choice to be a devotee. And I mean, I can humbly say that because I found, my identity and this love and happiness in our ISKCON movement, that, that it was so easy to make that choice that, I can't think of a better life than what we have now. It's just such an amazing life. Of course, I want to be Krishna's devotee. We go to the temple, we chant, we dance, we eat like amazing prasadam. There's so many festivals. So we want to help children also tap into that excitement of being in Krishna consciousness. So I'm going to just talk about 3 core principles that are very important in any children program or any initiative, even if you're a parent or a teacher or just interacting with children in any capacity. And before I start talking about it, I actually want to bring in Srila Prabhupada's example and ask all of you a question. So we have the Krishna book, which is one of our major literatures in our movement. Does anybody know who Srila Prabhupada dedicated the Krishna book to? Yes. To his father. And now I want to read to you the dedication, which was so touching. So Srila Prabhupada says, "To my father Gaur Mohan De, a pure devotee of Krishna, who raised me as a Krishna conscious child from the beginning of my life. In my boyhood ages, he instructed me how to play the mridanga. He gave me Radha Krishna Vigraha to worship, and he gave me Jagannath Rath to duly observe the festival as my childhood play. He was kind to me, and I imbibed from him the ideas later on solidified by my spiritual master, the Eternal Father." So I would like to ask you, what comes to mind just hearing this dedication that Srila Prabhupada has offered to his father? Yeah, his father and he's giving all his credit to his parents and to his spiritual master for his Krishna consciousness. Yeah. It's so amazing how I just find after 65, 70 years later, Srila Prabhupada is so impacted by these childhood memories from his father that he dedicates the Krishna book to his father. Yes, Mataji? Yes, 100%. This dedication and just Srila Prabhupada's childhood exemplifies these 3 core principles. Mataji, sorry, I didn't know if you had your hand up. Okay. Yeah. He didn't take it for granted. It was a voluntary process. Srila Prabhupada, he wanted to celebrate the Rath Yatra festival. Just at 5 years old, Srila Prabhupada, he was little Abai, he organized a whole festival with his whole neighbor. And that's one example of how, if you empower families, how they can preach to to all their neighbors, and like that we can create, Krishna conscious temples or Bhakti homes all around the world. And actually, if you find in India, it's so common that when you attract the kids, you attract the whole family as well. And I've heard from parents, I'm not a parent myself, that they say, "Oh my God, once I have had a child, I've become more Krishna conscious. They always want to do puja or chanting or doing, they're always so excitedly wanting to do more Krishna conscious things, and I have to, be more careful about how I'm chanting my rounds and doing the deity worship." Because children are in the perfect age. They're like sponges. And Srila Prabhupada says that. They're the perfect age to mold them. And they're just absorbing everything. And they're at a perfect age that they just have that natural, innocent faith completely. I remember everything I heard, I 100% believed it. Even from, this might sound a little bit dramatic, but thinking that, I would hear that if you leave your body in Rathayatra cart, under the Rathayatra chariot, you'll go back to Krishna. So I was thinking, okay, I remember as a kid thinking, this is how I want to leave my body. I'll make sure to go back to Krishna if I go to the Rathayatra. And yeah, I mean, a bit crazy, but everything you think. Or just hearing, I'll tell you a little story. This little boy I was teaching in the Sri Mayapur International School. He was like 4 years old, or 4 or 5 years old. And he made these like Play-Doh cookies. And then he said, Ma, did you hear? I made cookies for you. So then, as a teacher, a parent, you're like, oh, so yummy. You're about to I was about to open my mouth pretending to eat these Play-Doh cookies. And he said, Mataji, stop! What are you doing? I said, but I thought you just gave them to me to eat. He said, I didn't put the tulasi leaf. Krishna won't accept the cookies, the offering, if there's no tulasi leaves. So that, till now, it touched me so deeply that here was a little 4 or 5-year-old boy that he really imbibed Krishna consciousness so much that, it was like, even though it's a Play-Doh cookie, it's not even a real cookie, I'm not even going to eat it. It was so real that he's like, no, Krishna will not eat it without the tulasi leaf. So, just children are just in such an amazing age, and they really are Vaikuntha children. And Srila Prabhupada, he really believed that. That's why he wanted to, engage these kids in Krishna consciousness. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, like love, is that, Srila Prabhupada, he really, these Krishna conscious experiences, they carried him throughout his whole life. 70 years, still remembered how his father would read the Chaitanya Charitamrita and engage in deity worship. And his father made it super fun. That's why Srila Prabhupada loved to do all of that. He had so much fun. And he did, as Mataji was saying, he had the perfect example of pure devotees in his home so that he was able to follow. And yesterday I attended a seminar by Nitai Sevani Mataji, and she was saying, everybody needs a Jambavan in their life. So if we know like Jambavan in the Ramayana, he's the one that gave that support to Hanuman that yes, you have the capability to go across Lanka and save Sita. You can do it. And then that's what Hanuman was empowered. So every child needs a Jambavan in their life. Every child needs somebody that says, you know what, anything you want to be, anything you want to do for Krishna is 100% possible. You can do it. We love you. And it just makes such a difference. So I can also say that I'm so grateful for all the Jambavans in my life that made me, really feel that love and happiness in Krishna consciousness and want to share it with others. Children won't exactly maybe remember the story that you said or, the lecture, but they will remember how we made them feel. So I know that's a very common cliche saying, but it's true. And now, fun. Kids love to do like crafts, they love to draw, they love to do music, all these things. And all we have to do is just dovetail it in Krishna's service. And everything that they love to do, everything that they're interested in, we just connect it to Krishna. And like that, Krishna becomes such a real part of their life, like every single day. And, rather than focusing on, don't play video games, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, we just have to replace it with something better. Even Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna about how, by experience, you need to experience a higher taste, and naturally you'll give everything up. So by giving children these fun Krishna conscious experiences, they will naturally give up all the other things. And, the last point of example, the last principle, it's very, Srila Prabhupada says countless of times that example is better than precept. Mahatma Prabhu also says, children don't hear what you say, they hear what you do. And I don't want to just talk about, okay, yes, we have to, be, behave nicely, Vaishnav etiquette, so that children also, behave nicely. I mean, of course, we have to chant our rounds, but it's not only about doing what we have to do and our Krishna consciousness, it's also about how we follow our Krishna conscious practices. We can chant 16 rounds, and if our kids see us, scrolling on our phone, of course, I am 100% guilty of this. I'm still struggling in my japa. If kids see, you're really bored chanting, or then the message we're giving is chanting is not fun. So then, like that, kids are going to be like, I don't want to do that. It doesn't look fun. So we just have to be really creative and think of ways that we can inspire kids. And, the best type of preaching that we can do for kids is just being happy and being excited about Krishna consciousness. I don't feel like I have many qualifications. I just try to be really excited with the kids, and it's super contagious. They're happy with almost anything you do. They just want to experience Krishna consciousness in a fun way. So I'll just move on to the next point. So this slide talks about these 3 models for engaging children in Krishna consciousness. So the first category as engagement, these are just the purpose of these activities, these examples are to give children a higher taste, to engage kids in Krishna conscious fun fun would be the sole motive here, just to give them that taste. So, doing dramas. Kids love dramas. I mean, I love dramas. And like that, you can really absorb in the pastimes and imbibe the mood of the personality that, you're learning about. Also, skills or workshops, by tapping into your community and just finding out maybe some devotee is very good at baking, or, another devotee likes to play the harmonium. You could just ask somebody, that devotee to please, could you please come just 2 hours this Sunday and maybe, share what you know with the kids. And like that, if you have other community members, then it also just makes it more sustainable rather than just one person having to engage the kids every week. So really by tapping into the community, that would be a really effective way of engaging the kids and also giving, a variety of things to do. And I'm pretty sure that devotees will be glad and happy to just give in 1 hour every, 3-6 months if you have enough devotees. And just having, kirtan festivals, letting the kids play kartals and mridangas, just having story time or doing, fun crafts or having games. Yeah, games. I mean, kids love games. I mean, as an adult, I love to play games. So, I think anyone likes to have fun. So, what I like to do is I try to look up some games online and just make it Krishna conscious. So pin the donkey's tail, we have pin the tilak on the devotee. Or instead of Chinese whispers, we do everyone sits in a circle and we're going to say a message from the Guru Parampara, and you can't break it. You can't add to it. You can't subtract from it. So it's also a good way to, teach about the Guru Parampara through games. So there's so much that can be done by engaging kids in these fun ways. Now the second model would be, focusing on the practice and philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So later I'll be presenting a book, Becoming Your Devotee, that really imbibes different introductory practices of Krishna consciousness along with many different types of activities. And of course, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, also one Mataji, Arudha Mataji has created these Srimad Bhagavatam study guides. So this section would be more focused on not theory, but the philosophy and actually implementing the practical application of Krishna consciousness in their lives. But it's very, very important that just because, this is engagement and we're saying the purpose is to have fun, the philosophy category must also be fun and not dry and boring. Otherwise, it won't be attractive for children also. And, this thematic study, I just attended also another seminar by Tarini Radha Mataji. You could have different themes like the 9 processes of devotional service, or different, Gaur Purnima is coming up. You can have a month of, every week talking about Lord Chaitanya, stories, doing crafts, like that. And the last model for Bhakti kids would be, just special sangas for kids. So celebrating festivals. Everyone loves to celebrate festivals. Everyone loves to have holidays. So, festivals in our Vaishnav calendar, they're like our spiritual holidays. And there's so much that can be done. I mean, in Mayapur, we celebrate festivals like every week. But even then, every month we have at least one major festival that we can, really organize our programs around that theme. Also, summer camps. We had a Jai Jagannath camp for 5 days and 2 hours every day. It was really fun. We showed different videos. So each day we focused on a different famous place that Lord Jagannath resides in. And then we did like a little parikram, virtual parikram. We did a craft, creating Jagannath, making Jagannath with like matchboxes or like that. And then we singing the bhajan. So there's so much Krishna consciousness out there, like unlimited ideas in which the ways that we can engage kids. I remember hearing that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if we wanted to, we could, print a magazine about Krishna consciousness like every minute, every second. Krishna's unlimited. So I 100% believe the same thing that we can do for kids. I mean, even if we just focus, you could focus on one festival for a whole year, and that would be like more than sufficient. Also, challenges. We had like a Purushottam month challenge, so we're going to be doing it this year. And we had 3 different levels: Bala Gopal level, Krishna Balaram level, and Radha Madhava level. And each level had a calendar and how many rounds you would like to commit to chanting. Every day we're going to read this story. So for 1 month, 1,500 kids were, super excited doing the Purushottam month challenge. And we would get together twice a week and we would chant japa. And one boy, he's 12 years old, from America, and this was his first experience in ISKCON. And he said, my life has changed. A 12-year-old boy said, my life has changed forever. Everything that I thought of before, I was crying when I read this. He said, everything I thought of my life before, it's completely changed. Like Krishna has definitely been, said, a spark of love for Krishna has definitely been ignited in me. Like, it was just so beautiful to see the impact that these simple programs have on our kids. We were chanting a round of japa and seeing kids super excited. Like, we would make the kids lead the japa. So it's like one person would be there in the camera. So they would have to lead the chanting. And so we got so much feedback from the kids and the parents saying that, wow, my child has really increased their taste in chanting because of that Sanga. And here are also other examples, like just going on simple outings, having a picnic and playing Krishna conscious games with the kids. That's also, super fun. And talent shows, actually around like 2 years ago, Damodar Desh, they made a talent show with all the kids. I think there were like hundreds of kids. And they were, like coloring and doing like cooking and doing singing, a whole bunch of ideas. And then, devotees would like vote. It was like a whole, instead of like America's Got Talent or these competitions, it was like a Krishna conscious talent show. And the kids really, really loved it. It was so amazing to witness. And again, like we have so many wonderful personalities in our Vaishnav calendar that we celebrate their appearance and disappearance. Also, the 6 Goswamis, how much we can talk about them and, how many stories there are and crafts and games that we can just focus on these special personalities in our Vaishnav, tradition. So I just wanted to give a little sample lesson, just have, fun sangas that we've been using in our Bhakti Kids program. So we usually start off with, 1 round of japa, and we let the kids lead the japa, not, we're not imposing and, completely voluntary. And then kids will naturally feel inspired to also chant because, all their friends are chanting too. And one idea is that also to make chanting, a bit more like fun is to have, like, you can draw with chalk like 108 steps. Like if we don't have these like steps, japa stones that we have like in Mayapur, and like that, it's because kids like to move, and I mean I still love to chant that way. It makes it easier just to focus. So that's one easy way that we can chant japa with the kids. And then of course stories. I mean everyone dealing with kids know that stories are so important in children's lives, and everyone loves stories. I mean adults too. It's so important. And also, my experience here in India has been that kids love shlokas. They really love to learn shlokas. And in our website, we have, in school, actually, when I was in the international school, we memorized all the Bhakti Shastri shlokas, and we made all the translations into songs. So like that would be very easy to remember. So I still remember some of those songs, even though I graduated like 8 years ago. So this is also a really fun way for kids to learn, shlokas in the form of songs. And then, of course, getting their hands to do crafts and be crafty by, for example, for Nityananda Trayodasi and Gaurpurnim, one craft that we did was we got a paper, and on the top of the paper, we would make a cloud with cotton. And then on top of the cloud, we would stick like a picture of Gaur Nitai. And then on the bottom of the paper, a picture of like them and their families, the kid and their families. And then below the cloud, we would draw like little raindrops. So that would be like Gaur Nitai showering their mercy onto us. And then each drop, we would write something that we're grateful for. And just simple things like that, kids, really love to do that. And like that, you're also personally applying, gratitude and also connecting to Lord Chaitanya through craft. Then games, of course, we know kids love games. And even online, nowadays, you can play charades, like everything's possible. Then giving some time for kids to be able to share something. Kids love to talk, they want to express themselves, and they have a voice, so just giving them that space to also share what they would like to say. And of course, snacks and prasadam are super important in any ISKCON program. So of course, online, that might not be possible, but on site, that would be very important, even if it's just a simple sweet. So here, just want to give a 5-step action plan on how we can start up a children program in your congregation. So the first one would be to build a team, because alone it might be very easy to get burnt out, and it is overwhelming to do everything alone. But of course, it is also possible. And so it would be very much more helpful though to reach out to parents that they're also seeking to engage their kids. And as I was mentioning before, to community members that would also like to share with the kids or younger generation some talents that they have, will also be, very helpful for your children program. And coordinating with temple authorities, would be easier to, arrange for venue and to get facilities, and also be in touch and, with the child protection policies and the team. So like that, just to ensure safety up for the kids and also for the teachers. And determining, responsibilities. There's so much that goes on in a children program. Maybe, you feel inspired to teach. Maybe others want to contribute, but may not feel, ready to teach kids. So there's, other areas, even asking parents if they could just make a simple suite on a rotation basis, like that it's not all on you. And, being able to just manage, like, sending out WhatsApp messages or registration and trying to collect donations. So they're just different areas. Of course, you don't need 5 different devotees for your team. That would be ideal. But if not, Krishna will provide and help out. And developing a plan for the year or for the month of what can happen. So I presented the 3 different types of models, like engagement, special, and philosophy. So knowing how we can integrate that into the year. So, in February, it's Lord Nityananda's birthday. So maybe we can have a Nityananda's birthday party for Nitai. Or we can have, focus on this shloka from Bhagavad Gita. So just mapping it out into a year will be much easier rather than every week having to come up with something to do with the kids. And knowing maybe you have regular classes. So from one book, like from the Srimad Bhagavatam book, or becoming your devotee, just to have a fixed curriculum, that makes it also easy. And you can also add special events. In Malaysia, they had Nimai's birthday party, which was super successful. And I mean, that's what appearance days are. They're birthday parties. So that's how we can, attract kids. Today's Krishna's birthday, and, celebrating it like that. And then just, important things to be able to, the logistics of organizing a kids program. Like, where's it going to happen? What days and timings will suit parents? Usually, it will probably be Sunday. It could happen during the Sunday feast so that it's integrated with the temple and the parents don't have to make an extra trip. And, what resources will you need? How much Lakshmi just to sustain it. And when you start, of course it's important. Nowadays, everything happens on social media, and that's how we keep in contact with devotees. So just, having somebody that is able to communicate with the parents and, manage WhatsApp groups or the Telegram channel. So I know that we presented that to develop your own plan, which of course you're completely free to do. But also just to make things a little bit easier, Bhakti Kids has also created a timeline or a plan that you can also use the resources that have already been created in your congregation. So these past 3 years, we've been developing a lot of resources. I'll just be presenting it. It is for a year, but realistically, the material that we have, it's for 2 years, minimum. So here in January, we have, Pushya Abhishek, where we have a craft for the kids to be able to design a flower outfit for Radha Madhava, a nice craft for them to do. In February, we have created festival kits. So each festival kit has stories about the personality. So stories about Lord Nityananda. We have different crafts, rhymes, puzzles, games. So each of these festival kits are around 20 to 30 pages, and they're accessible for free on our website. I'll write it and show it later, bhaktikids.com. So all these resources are completely for free, like all the festival kits. And even if you meet with your kids once a week, there's 30 pages for the activities. I don't think you'll be able to finish it in 1 month. So that's why I'm saying that it would be sufficient for 2 years. Then we also have, in March, we have a Gauranga Festival kit as well. Then in April, we have Chanan Yatra program. So here in Mayapur, for 21 days, Radha Madhava celebrates Chanan Yatra. So every single day, small Radha Madhava, they are decorated with the paraphernalia of a specific pastime. So one day, Radha Madhava will be celebrating Janmashtami. One day, Govardhan Puja. So like this, there's 21 different festivals. So what we did to engage kids and really help them enter the magical world of Krishna's adventures, that's what we called it. Then we created 21 different Chanan Yatra activities. So every single day, they would read that pastime. There was a shloka to recite, and some fun facts, and a craft to do. So by the end of the Chanan Yatra, the kids were able to have a book of 21 of Krishna's pastimes, like a pop-up book. So each activity was like a pop-up craft. So for the boat pastime, Radha and Krishna were on the boat, swimming on the Manasi Ganga, floating on the Manasi Ganga. And we also had once a week sangas with all the kids. We had around 400 to I think 400 participants. In May, we have the Nrsingadev Festival kit. June, we have the Jai Jagannath camp. So these materials are all accessible on our website. The Jai Jagannath camp comes with 5 PowerPoint presentations and a Jagannath festival kit. So like that, we have, virtual parikrams, crafts, games, all about Lord Jagannath. So one day, we celebrated Lord Jagannath's, you could say, appearance in Jagannath Puri, Lord Jagannath in Mayapur Dham, Lord Jagannath in Dwarka. Like that, children were really able to connect with Jagannath. And in July and August, since we're celebrating the Purushottam month this year, we have our famous Purushottam month challenge, which kids love. By the end of the Purushottam month challenge, they got a certificate for participating, and they were super excited to get, certificate signed by, one of our GVC members, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, and we offered their names to Radha Madhava, Panchatattva Nrsingadev, and, I had to flip through pages because there were so many names, and they were so excited. Just these simple things, they were just so happy that, Radha Madhava saw their names and saw that they completed the Purushottam month. So they were super excited about that. So it was actually, this Purushottam month challenge was what made Bhakti kids really flourish. So we're going to do this again this year. So please, enroll your kids or the kids in your community in this Purushottam month challenge. Also in August, we celebrate the Julan Yatra Festival, the Swing Festival, and we also have 5 crafts to design Radha Madhava's outfit. Because here in Mayapur, every single day, Radha Madhava wear a different color, yellow, red. So like that, the kids can design their own outfit. And we want to do, maybe this year we'll do that. Maybe we can do a designing competition and then offer it to Radha Madhava. So there's just so many ways to engage kids. So far, I'm only focusing on the festivals. And these are just some of our festivals in our Vaishnav calendar. And we have so many, we have Ekadasis. Every Ekadasi has a special pastime. We have so many personalities in, previous acharyas and that we can, explore. So there's unlimited amount of engagement for kids. And in September, we have a lot here. As you can see, we have a Janmastami festival kit, Radhastami, and one about Srila Prabhupada. So, September is festival month. There's just so much to do. So these are also accessible on the website. And Krishna, My Best Friend is an activity book that is coming out in around a month or a month and a half. And it's more than 100 just stories and activities all about Krishna, to get to know Krishna. And the theme is, Krishna is our best friend, and we need to get to know our best friend. So, the book is going to talk about Krishna's different pets, and what does Krishna's day in Vrindavan look like? Who are Krishna's parents? And just so many fun activities. And when you talk like that to kids, I just did a program in Bangalore and Madurai. Did you know Krishna has a pet monkey? And the kids are you just see their eyes completely light up. They're oh my God, Krishna has a pet monkey. That is so cool. And did you know Krishna has 2, parrot spies? And they're just look around each other. They look around and they're oh my God, they're probably looking at me right now. So they're the perfect age to just completely just inundate them in Krishna conscious fun. Then October, November, we have the Kartik month. We have we celebrated the Damodar Fun Month 2 years in a row. So we have 2 different programs that you could also implement in your congregation, which is also so much fun. We also had around 400 to 500 participants every day, offering a lamp to Damodar and, hearing the different pastimes. Just in Kartik month also, there are another 4 festivals, Govardhan Puja, appearance of Radhakund, Srila Prabhupada's Disappearance Day, Gopastami. I mean, there's just a whole world of festivals out there for kids. And in December, we have the Gita Challenge. So every day for 18 days, we would read the summary of the chapter. We would recite like the Sanskrit of the whole chapter together and have one main shloka to like memorize and to learn, and also a coloring page. Every day for 18 days, kids were, absorbed in the Bhagavad Gita. So here just, resources that we have available for you if you would like to access them, completely free of charge, and just to engage our kids, and minimal planning required. It's all there for you. But now I would like to present one of our programs. Becoming Your Devotee is actually a Krishna conscious workbook and activity book for kids. So we have, I'd just like to, you can flip through it. Here is one testimonial by Shesha Prabhu, who was our ISKCON Minister of Education. And he describes a comprehensive guidebook on all the basics of practicing Krishna consciousness, which includes easy to understand, step-by-step, how-to, instructions, charts, music, drama, puzzles, and fun-to-do activities. Previously, we just hoped that children would turn out to be little Prahlad Maharajas. Now with this book, that hope can become a reality. So I'm not just trying to promote this book, like please buy this book, Becoming Your Devotee, but we're trying to share with you a program, like a whole package deal, to make it easier to implement children programs in your community. Because last ILS, actually no, the one before that, so 5 years ago, we presented and we were asking devotees, like, what would you like? What would you like from the Congregational Development Ministry? And they were saying, we need a systematic curriculum to engage kids. So this is what we're trying to do. And could you please bring the book? So the book, it actually has sufficient material to engage kids for 2 years. If you do weekly programs, it'll be enough for 2 years. So this book is being used by many different congregations around the world. Like in Krishna Katha Desh, they're using the book with like 300 kids. And I was just talking yesterday with the Mataji in charge, and I was curious. I was like, how long does it take you to do one chapter? She's like, it takes me 3 months because there's just so much that is offered. So just a quick overview. So there's 8 chapters of Becoming Your Devotee. Each chapter talks about introductory concepts of Krishna consciousness, like why do we wear tilak? It's our Vaishnav uniform. What are the 9 processes of devotional service? Who are Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda? How do we offer boga and arti? Why do we follow Ekadasi? Like, what's the story behind it? And then each chapter starts off with a lesson, like a school textbook. And each lesson has learning objectives, the main points, 5 discussion questions, and then 25 exercises like mark true and false, multiple choice questions. So that section would be like the school textbook. And then also we wanted to include lots of activities to attract different types of kids and different types of learners. There's this theory from Howard Gardner called the multiple intelligences theory, and he explains how intelligence is not just about mathematics and English. There's so many different kinds of intelligence: music, nature. And so what we're trying to do is really try to tap into all the different types of learners and really consolidate that Krishna conscious concept in all these different types of ways. So each chapter also has 4 crafts. For example, for the tilak chapter, making a tilak stencil bag and things like that. Then we have a minimum of 2 writing activities, also to be able to personally apply it in your life. Then there's also harmonium melodies in the book, as well as the more fun section, which has crosswords, word searches, games, puzzles, and some chapters have recipes, quizzes, and we also provided four drama scripts in the book. So yeah, these are a few of the benefits. Has more than 150 activities. Also, we wanted to make it very easy for parents and teachers that would like to use this book as a curriculum. This book is enough. It's very easy, user friendly for the kids, and it's talking to the kids, so they can do the book by themselves. But it's also used as a curriculum that if you want to spend time, with your kids and doing Krishna conscious activities, here you can find like different games and questions. We also created 63 lessons to go along with the book. So for any teacher, that lesson planning takes so much time and it's a lot of effort. So we wanted to make it very easy. So we created these lessons, which you just have to pick it up, and then it tells you, okay, what do kids need to learn by the end of this lesson? What resources do I need? Then, introduction, read together this, read the translation to this bhajan, like lead kirtan, and then read this page, do this craft. Like that, it's very, like maybe just 5% planning for teachers just to read it and become familiar with the text. So these are just few examples of the congregations that are using the book in their, the Balaram Desh, Krishna Katha Desh, in Malaysia, in Delhi, Pune, New Zealand. So I'd just like to pass around these lesson plans and the book. If you would like to take a look at it, we have them outside. And if you would like to keep in touch with us, here you can take a picture, and here you'll be updated on any new books coming out, resources, activities. Please find, especially the website. All the material that I was talking about is free for download in the Bhakti Kids website. The only one that is for purchasing would be Becoming Your Devotee, because it's in print. So bhaktikids.com. Oh, it's for ages 7 and up. Wait, sorry, did you ask what age? Oh, 7 and up. Yeah, and these lessons that those will be for the parents and teachers. Well, so thank you very much for attending the seminar. I really appreciate it. Hare Krishna.